Hey man, you was in there standing up while you were eating. When they bump down on you, they ask you, is you one of these five or is you a rapper? You said a rapper. I got facts about these, man. Hey man, I'm on your ass, man. You know what I'm talking about, man? Cause why, hold on, man. You ain't stand up? What, you ain't sit down? When it was time to stand on business? So you let a nigga basically get you, man, made you stand up and eat your food. I thought you supposed to sit down and eat. Man, you got the internet food, man. That nigga a hoe in jail, man. That nigga a buster, nigga. And I can get the penitentiary on the phone, nigga. For real.
Something about this situation doesn't sit right. And the more people talk about it, the more questions start to come up. Because right now, all eyes are on one name: Pooh Shiesty, and what fans believe might be happening behind those prison walls. Now, let's be clear, nothing is confirmed, but social media is saying that the way Pooh Shiesty is being treated inside has people talking heavy. Not just fans, but people across the entire hip hop community. It started with small whispers, a comment here, a reaction there. Then suddenly, everything got louder. Fans are shocked at the different stories being shared. Some people think he's being respected because of who he is. Others believe things might be more complicated than they seem. And then there are those who feel like the truth is somewhere in the middle, hidden behind silence. And because when someone like Pooh Shiesty, an artist who had real momentum, real presence, real influence, ends up in that situation, people pay attention. He holding it down? One fan asked. Or is it tougher than we think? Another replied. And that right there, that's the question everyone keeps coming back to. Because prison isn't the music industry. It's a completely different world. Different rules, different expectations, different pressures. And right now, fans believe there's more going on than what's being said publicly. Unconfirmed reports suggest different experiences, some positive, some negative, but nothing has been officially verified. Still, the conversation keeps growing, and the longer the silence continues, the more intense the speculation becomes. So, what is really happening with Pooh Shiesty behind those walls? Is he being respected or tested? And why does it feel like nobody has the full story? The moment Pooh Shiesty's situation became official, everything around his name started to change. Before, the conversation was about music, momentum, and his place in the rap game. Now it's about something completely different. It's about survival, adaptation, and what really happens when someone used to the spotlight suddenly finds themselves in a place where none of that matters. And that shift alone has fans watching closely, trying to understand what his day-to-day life might actually look like. At first, the updates were minimal, just general information, nothing too detailed, but as time passed, social media started filling in the gaps, whether accurate or not. Fans began sharing what they believed could be happening behind the scenes. And some people think Pooh Shiesty is being respected because of his name and reputation. Others believe that inside that environment, status doesn't carry the same weight. And that difference in perspective is what's fueling the conversation right now. Fame don't mean nothing in there, one user commented. Another replied, yeah, but respect follows you if your name's strong enough. And just like that, people are divided. Because prison operates on a completely different system, something fans are constantly trying to understand from the outside. Social media is saying that individuals in those environments often have to navigate complex social dynamics where every move matters. Some people think Pooh Shiesty is handling it well, staying low, staying focused, and avoiding unnecessary attention, as others believe it might be more challenging than fans want to admit. Nothing is confirmed, but the speculation keeps growing. What's making this even more intense is how little direct information is available. Unlike music or interviews, there's no constant stream of updates, no real time insight, just occasional glimpses and secondhand accounts that may or may not be accurate. And because of that, fans are left to interpret whatever small details they can find. Some people believe that Pooh Shiesty is keeping to himself, focusing on his time, and maintaining a certain level of discipline. Others think there could be moments of tension that simply aren't being talked about publicly. Unconfirmed reports suggest that life inside isn't easy for anyone, regardless of who they are, but in that adjustment plays a huge role in how someone is treated. At the same time, there's a strong emotional connection driving the conversation. Fans remember where Pooh Shiesty was before all this, his rise, his energy, his presence in the industry. So now, imagining him in a completely different environment feels almost unreal. That contrast is what keeps people talking. Man was just on top not too long ago, one fan wrote. And now look, life really changed fast, another responded. That reality is hitting people hard. Meanwhile, others are trying to stay grounded, reminding everyone that a lot of what's being shared is speculation. We don't know what's really going on, one comment read. Everything y'all saying is just guesses. And they're right, because without direct confirmation, everything remains uncertain. Still, one that hasn't stopped the conversation from building. If anything, it's made people more curious. Some fans believe that Pooh Shiesty's mindset is the most important factor right now, that how he carries himself, how he adapts, and how he handles the situation internally will determine his experience more than anything else. Others think external factors, environment, surroundings, and who he interacts with play a bigger role. And that's where things start to feel even more complex, because no matter how much people try to understand from the outside, the reality inside is something only a few truly know. Right now, there are more questions than answers. Is he staying focused? Is he facing challenges? Is he being respected? Nobody can say for sure, but one thing is clear, the curiosity isn't going away. And the more people talk about it, the more intense the speculation becomes. As the days turned into weeks, the conversation around Pooh Shiesty didn't slow down. It got louder. What started as general curiosity began turning into full-on speculation, with fans trying to piece together what his reality might actually look like. Social media is going crazy, and every small detail, real or not, is being treated like a clue. Then came the first real shift in the narrative. A few posts began circulating online claiming that Pooh Shiesty had been adjusting well. Some people think he's staying disciplined, keeping a low profile, and avoiding unnecessary situations. Fans believe that approach could earn him respect, especially in an environment where attention can sometimes create problems. But again, nothing is confirmed, when these are just claims being passed around with no direct source to verify them. At the same time, there's another side of the conversation that paints a completely different picture. Some people think things might not be as smooth as others are saying. Unconfirmed reports suggest that adjusting to that kind of environment comes with pressure, mental, emotional, and social. And for someone who lived a very different lifestyle before, that transition can be difficult. Fans are divided between those who believe he's handling it strongly and those who think there's more struggle than people are willing to admit. Everybody acting like it's easy. It's not, one fan wrote. Another replied, he built for it. He gonna be straight. And just like that, the debate continues. What's making everything even more intense is how quickly different stories are spreading. One day, people are saying he's doing fine. The next, there are rumors suggesting tension, challenges, or situations that aren't being talked about openly. Social media is saying a lot, But without confirmation, it's impossible to separate fact from assumption. Then came another twist that pushed the conversation even further. A rumored message, again not verified, started circulating, claiming to be from someone who had insight into his situation. The message suggested that things are not as simple as people think. That line alone was enough to send fans into another wave of speculation. See? That's what I'm saying, one user posted. We don't really know what's going on, another added. This emotions ran high as people began questioning everything they thought they understood. At the same time, there's a growing conversation about how reputation plays a role in these environments. Some people think that Pooh Shiesty's name carries weight, even in a place where most things operate differently. Others argue that once someone is inside, everything resets, and individuals are judged based on how they move in that specific setting. And that difference in opinion, it's keeping the conversation alive. Meanwhile, fans are also reflecting on the bigger picture. This isn't just about one person, it's about how quickly life can change. One moment, someone is at the top of their career, and the next, they're facing a completely different reality. That contrast is hitting people hard, and it's part of why emotions are running so high. When life can flip overnight, one comment read. Real talk, nothing guaranteed, another responded. That awareness is adding a deeper layer to the discussion. At the same time, there's still no direct communication from Pooh Shiesty himself that confirms any of these claims. No detailed updates, no clear statements addressing what's being said online, and because of that, the speculation continues to grow without limits. Some fans believe that silence means he's focused, staying out of the noise and handling his situation privately. Others think that silence leaves too much room for rumors to spread, but either way, it hasn't stopped people from talking. If anything, it's made them talk even more. Right now, the situation feels like it's building towards something. Whether that's clarity, a confirmed update, or simply more speculation, nobody knows for sure. But what is clear is that the conversation isn't slowing down, it's evolving. Every new rumor, every new reaction, every new theory adds another layer, and the more layers there are, the harder it becomes to see what's really true. Now the conversation has reached a point where it feels heavier than just curiosity, it feels emotional. The situation surrounding Pooh Shiesty isn't just being discussed anymore. It's being felt by fans who have followed his journey from the beginning. And as more rumors and theories continue to circulate, the tension is only getting stronger. At this stage, people aren't just asking what's happening, they're asking how he's really holding up. Because beyond the speculation about respect or pressure, there's a deeper question about mindset. And some fans believe that staying mentally strong is the most important factor in that environment. Others think that no matter how strong someone is, the situation itself comes with challenges that can't be ignored. Social media is going crazy with these discussions. One fan wrote, "It's not even about toughness, it's about staying focused." Another replied, "Yeah, but being in there changes everything." And just like that, the conversation shifts again, from physical conditions to mental resilience. At the same time, more unconfirmed stories continue to surface. Some people think Pooh Shiesty has been keeping a very low profile, choosing to stay out of unnecessary situations and focusing on his time. Others believe there may have been moments of tension that simply aren't being shared publicly. Nothing is confirmed, but the variety of stories is what's keeping the conversation alive. Then came another moment that added even more intensity. A rumored interaction, again, completely unverified, started circulating online, suggesting that someone had spoken about Pooh Shiesty's presence in a way that hinted at both respect and caution. That idea alone sparked another wave of reactions. Some fans believe it means he's maintaining a strong position. Others think it suggests that things are more complicated than they appear. Respect don't mean easy, one comment read. That's what people don't understand, another added. Emotions ran high as fans tried to interpret what that could mean. Meanwhile, there's also a growing conversation about how identity changes in that environment. Outside, Pooh Shiesty is known for his music, his image, and his influence. One, but inside, some people think those things don't carry the same weight. Others believe that reputation still matters, just in a different way. And that difference in perspective is creating even more debate. Some fans are expressing concern, saying that no matter how strong someone appears, the situation itself is difficult. Others are more optimistic, believing that he's adapting and handling things in his own way. And once again, people are divided. What makes this moment even more intense is how personal it feels to the audience. Fans remember the energy he brought to the industry, the momentum he had, and the way his career was moving. So imagining him in a completely different environment creates a strong emotional reaction. It's not just about curiosity, it's about connection. At the same time, there's still no clear confirmation of anything being said online. No verified updates, no direct statements that explain what's really happening. And because of that, the conversation continues to grow in different directions. Some people believe that eventually, more clarity will come, that there will be a moment where things are explained, whether through official updates or reliable sources. Others think the situation might remain unclear, with fans left to interpret it based on limited information. But right now, it doesn't feel like it's slowing down. It feels like it's building. Every new rumor adds pressure, every reaction adds emotion, and every moment of silence keeps people guessing. Because in situations like this, uncertainty becomes its own story. And until something changes, that story keeps getting bigger. Oh, and more intense. And now everything feels like it's reached a turning point. Not because we finally have answers, but because the silence itself is starting to feel louder than all the rumors combined. The conversation around Pooh Shiesty hasn't slowed down. In fact, it feels like it's peaking. Fans are watching closely, analyzing everything, and trying to make sense of a situation where clarity still doesn't exist. At this stage, people aren't just reacting to stories anymore. They're reacting to the lack of real information, because despite all the speculation, all the theories, and all the emotional discussions, nothing has been officially confirmed. And that's what's making everything feel so intense. The unknown is what's driving the conversation now. And some people believe that the absence of confirmed updates is intentional, that everything is being kept quiet for a reason. Others think it's simply the reality of the situation, where information doesn't move the same way it does in the outside world. But either way, fans are left trying to piece together fragments of information that may or may not be accurate. Social media is going crazy with final theories, as if people are trying to reach some kind of conclusion before any real answers arrive. One fan wrote, "I think he's handling it better than people expect." Another said, "We really don't know anything, and that's the problem." And those two opinions perfectly capture the divide that still exists. At the same time, there's a noticeable shift in tone. Earlier, the conversation was more about curiosity and speculation. Now, it feels more serious, more reflective. Fans are starting to focus less on rumors and more on the reality of the situation itself. The environment, the pressure, the adjustment, Those are the things being talked about now. Some people think that regardless of the rumors, the experience itself is what matters most, that being in that environment changes a person no matter who they are. Others believe that strength and mindset can make a difference, that how someone approaches the situation can shape their experience. And once again, people are divided. Meanwhile, there are still small moments that keep the speculation alive. A comment here, a post there, nothing direct, nothing confirmed, but enough for fans to keep talking. Some people think these moments are hints. Others believe they're meaningless details being overanalyzed. But in a situation like this, even the smallest detail can feel important. What makes this moment feel like a peak is the sense that something has to happen next. Not necessarily a dramatic reveal, but some kind of clarity. Because right now, the conversation feels unfinished, like a story without a conclusion. Fans are asking the same questions over and over again. Is he doing okay? Is he facing challenges? Is the reality closer to what people hope or what they fear? And the truth is, we still don't know. But that hasn't stopped the emotional investment. If anything, it's made it stronger. Because when people don't have answers, they hold on to whatever information they can find, even if it's uncertain. At the same time, there's a growing awareness that not everything needs to be public. Then some fans are starting to say that maybe it's better not to speculate too much, that certain realities should be respected rather than turned into conversation. Others still want answers, still want to understand what's really happening. And that tension between curiosity and respect, it's what defines this moment. Right now, everything feels like it's on pause, not ending, not resolving, just waiting. Waiting for clarity, waiting for confirmation, waiting for something real to cut through all the noise. But until that happens, the conversation continues, the speculation continues, and the questions, they're still unanswered. So now we're left here with a situation that feels real, emotional, and intense, but still full of unanswered questions. Everything we've talked about surrounding Pooh Shiesty is based on what fans believe, what social media is saying, and what unconfirmed reports suggest. But at the end of the day, nothing is confirmed. And that's what makes this whole story feel so powerful and so uncertain at the same time. Fans are shocked, emotions ran high, social media is going crazy, and people are completely divided between those who think he's handling everything strong and those who believe the reality might be much tougher than it looks. So now I've got to ask you, what do you think is really going on? Do you believe Pooh Shiesty is being respected and staying focused? Or do you think there's more happening behind the scenes that we don't fully understand? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I want to hear your real opinion, no filters. And if you want more content like this, deep dives, real conversations, and the stories everyone's talking about, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. Because when situations like this unfold, you already know, we're going to be right here breaking it all down with you.